What's up, dudes? It's your boy, Young Yamcha here. That actually sounded like kind of like Maximilian-esque. Maybe I should try that again. Hola! Nah. Konnichiwa? What's up? I guess it's a little bit better. Anyways, it's your boy, Young Yamcha here. And as you can see here, I've been playing Bloodborne again. It's been quite a while, actually about a couple of months since I played, because I've been pretty much stuck in Street Fighter V land. I guess it took a lot of getting beat up repeatedly by people online to finally go back and get killed again in Bloodborne over and over. I think I'm a masochist. Pretty sure that's the reason why. I think I just like to basically, get beat up basically a lot. Anyways, though, I'm kind of still sort of around the beginning of Bloodborne. Not the beginning, but I had just recently beat Vicar Amelia, which is kind of a major story point and opens up a lot of possible areas to explore in the game. To go to, you could go to the Forgotten Woods, or Forbidden Woods, excuse me, which is supposed to be help move the storyline plot point, and I did explore that a little bit. Was not a huge fan of the massive crawling snake ball, whatever you want to call it. Just not a huge fan of those, and don't like poison status effect, and plus, it's hard to get a lot of offense from me with them. I'm sure more skilled Bloodborne players have no problem with them, but me personally, I was trying to figure it out. But I did do a lot of exploring, and then while exploring there, I kind of read that you could get an item that helps you get into the Nightmare Frontier, which I was like, yeah, okay, let's explore, let's go with this. I know Nightmare Frontier is basically an optional quest. You don't have to go into the place. I don't think at all, really. You can get away with it, but I wanted to explore it, change it up a little bit before I continued on the storyline, before I continued on with the boss for the Forbidden Woods. And going into the Nightmare Frontier, it's awesome. It's very awesome. And now it's very awesome for quite a few reasons. I know one being good old Amy, this girl over here that you see me fighting and dying from right now. Very fun fight. You won't see in this video, of course, because initially when I captured it, I had captured, I thought I captured me finally beating this boss. It took me quite a few tries. But I finally did. Yeah, see, there you go. Died. And Laser Blast, just for good effect. Just, as a final FU to me for even attempting or trying. Didn't quite get the win on that one. But still, a very fun fight. And it kind of changed up the pace a little bit as far as the boss battle so far. And really, that's kind of the whole thing that I love about the Nightmare Frontier, is it really changes things up on kind of a sort of a game philosophical level. Because if you think about it, up to that point, you're hunting the beasts and bosses and enemies that you encounter. You've gotten used to them. It's basically like werewolves, variations of that. Sometimes you get something like different with the townsfolk. If you go into the Hemwick area, you encounter witches. So there's some things, but it's kind of you kind of get used to it, and it's sort of set the way the enemy is standard. It's kind of set in kind of a stone or standard way. I guess in a way, you get used to that game's reality, or what you think it is. You think that's all it is, and you're tense, all the time, because this is a Souls game essentially from Software, and there's always a tense atmosphere because there's always the threat that anything can kill you. In fact, really, you can kill yourself a lot of times by falling or getting a little cocky with enemies. It happens, and that's. Nightmare Frontier, though, it really changes things up. It goes from tense and scary, from like RE4 tense, to psychologically good old Silent Hill type of creepy, and I absolutely love that. It really ties in because, okay, you gotta think about it. Up to this point, there are kind of breadcrumbs around that. This game is paying more of a homage to H.P. Lovecraft and the cosmic horror genre. There are, clues here and there about it, but it never really explicitly punches you in the face just yet at this point in the game. That comes much later. Of course, though, if you were like me and you tried to go to Nightmare Frontier kind of soonish after, the Vicar Amelia fight, that's when it hits you. That's when you get kind of like a punch in the face that, oh, there's some, you thought things were like scary and horrible in Bloodborne right now. No, it's far, far worse. It's on a whole cosmic level. And that's really cool that the game kind of, it gives you that option and it kind of changes things up. Even the way that you're transported there, like there's an Amy that grabs you and transports you to this area. And really, if you have it, you'll see I have a pretty good amount of insight. If you have a good amount of insight, you can actually start seeing these creatures kind of as they grab you and transport you, and it piece together the blue portal, but also it raises a question as to what in the crap is this thing and why is it so much different than the other horrors that I've had to encounter. When I first entered Nightmare Frontier, it was I died immediately. I'm not even going to front on that. It was brutal. It was unforgiving. There was just so many things that could kill you in an instant if you weren't careful, and it was tough, and you really had to kind of work for it. And I guess it all depends on the level, and I'm sure there are much better players that if they watch this, they're just like, whatever, what a noob. And I am a complete noob. I make no bones about that. But at that, up until that point, I was, even the Forbidden Woods, I know I complained about the snakes, but they weren't really like too much of a problem. It was kind of a doable solution, and I felt really good, and it felt like I was getting used to the game, and I'm, getting comfortable and really sure in myself, and even a little bit cocky. And Nightmare Frontier, as far as gameplay wise, completely smashes that. Completely just obliterates me and breaks me down and says, you know nothing, little man. You thought this was tough? Oh, wait until you encounter what this world has to offer. It also has like my favorite enemy, my love-hate enemy, which are the Winter Lanterns or the Brain Trusts, which I had read about them and I encountered them, and it's kind of one of those things where no matter how many times you read or encounter or read about and prepare yourself for, it's really nothing compared to when you actually experience them. And I had a lot of insight, so my frenzy resistance was not really prepared to handle them. So it was they were very, very creepy, very scary. And the fact that, I guess this is being at another insight level, that if you hang around, you can actually hear them sing like a really weird off-tune type of song. Very, very scary. It added a very good survival horror element to Bloodborne, which I can't remember the last time that I had encountered a game that could really creep me out like that. I guess the final thing that I will say that I love about this place is that it actually is a huge setup to prepare you for this fight against Amy. Because 9 times out of 10, the one thing that kills you more so in this area, and especially in this boss fight, is not knowing your surroundings or your environment. You see with Amy, the whole key, if you're playing it safe like I'm trying to, is having a space game. So, watching your space, knowing when to dodge and how to dodge out of, her attacks. However, if, you don't know if you dodge into a wall at the wrong moment or into a pile of rocks or whatever, Amy can catch you, and before you know it, it's over. And so that kind of, and that's actually kind of the Nightmare Frontier. There's a lot of times where I was encountering enemies and online battles too, where the only reason that I really got killed was because I tried to dash into the terrain and got trapped and got cornered and killed. So when you prepare for that, it really prepares you to fight against Amy. Anyways, just wrapping this up. Love Nightmare Frontier. Very, very fun level, and just really looking forward to finishing up Bloodborne. So.